Okay, so what's going on here is I have this wall now here, and what's happened is that there was a blind here, silicone attached. Pull the blind out, and it's taken off the wall a bit. So the wall is made of plaster, and it's bricks behind the plaster. So what's happened is that when the blind come out, it's pulled the plaster out, so it's created a sort of let's say half a centimeter depth into the wall. So it's gone there, and all over there. So what I've done now, I've got this all-purpose ready mix filler. So it's not powder filler where then I have to mix it. It's already pre-made. What I've done, I got like a squeegee tool. This is like a, let's say you could, it looks like something you clean your car windscreen with, like when it's really cold. So I got this is called a squeegee tool. And I've got a little sort of a bus pass or Oyster card. I mean, there's the actual tools you use, like actual building tool. But I just thought, you know what, I'll just quickly use what I have. And I had a card. So what I did, I just used the card, and I sort of, with the card, I went scooped whatever I could with the card out there, put it on here, and just sort of put it in. And with the card, I made sure I put everything in as much as I could, and then I used a squeegee tool and I went over as best as I could. But what's happened now is obviously I'm gonna do 2 coats. So the first coat now is what's sort of filled the whole depth in. And the second coat now is gonna be after I sand everything down. So once I sand everything down, so look, you see, once I sand it down, I mean, this is bad because look how much I have to sand down, and it's not an easy job. I should have the machine, but I'm gonna be hand sanding it. So I've got 120 grit sandpaper. So I use a block like this. I put it into the sandpaper like that. But I think I should use more than 120 grit, a more rougher sandpaper, because this is taking it off really fine. So I think it's gonna take ages, but we'll see. And once I sand everything down as best as I can to where it's smooth and where it doesn't seem like this on the wall, I'm gonna do a second coat. So the second coat should, if you see here, you can see it goes in a bit. The second coat should sort of fill this bit up where it's gone a bit in because it's dried. So once that's filled in with the second coat, I'm gonna sand it down again, and hopefully everything should be smooth. So once it's smooth, what I do, I'm gonna get a bit of the wall. So when this come off, this plaster thing came off. So it's quite hard to color match. I'm not too sure how to color match. So I was thinking, what, should I take a picture of the wall, or I use the Dulux color app to try color match it? But when I'm putting the camera here, it's giving me all sorts of different colors because of the light, shade, and whatnot. So when this come off, what I done, I just took a piece off so I can take it to the shop and get the actual color. And then after that, after everything's sanded down, after the actual color, we're gonna see how it goes trying to paint the wall. So hopefully it sort of still matches in. It only has a sort of a lighter shade because it's sort of a brand new color, but it should still just sort of blend in. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get loads of, like, I'm just gonna get, what am I gonna do? Like black bin bag, mask it all over the edge. I wanna mask it all over the edge. Hopefully any paint that splatters, even over here, any paint that splatters, I'm just gonna mask this up. Any paint that splatters, it shouldn't sort of mark the floor up. But even if that happens, white spirit should do the job. But I'm trying to avoid any of that. But yeah, so I think the sandpaper thing is going to be really difficult. So this is how you fill a wall and then repaint it. So basically all I got a pre-mixed filler. I didn't get a powder filler. I got 120 grit sandpaper with, this is needed. When you sand down, this is needed. This is like just a square block. I got a bit of wet wipe, so just in case, like whenever any of the filler fell, I just used the wet wipe and just wiped everything. Got a bit of newspaper, so whenever anything fell, squeegee tool, a little Oyster card or whatever card, and that sort of worked out for me. I mean, you get the actual tools for the filler, which is like a metal, like sort of rectangle bit. Like I'm not too sure what it's called, but that's the proper tool. But this works. The card works good enough. But as you can see here, this side's done better. This side's done much better. As you can see, it's like literally blended in. But I need to sand it down, and then this side will literally be really, really good from up there as well. But this side is terrible. Like, it's gonna take ages sanding down all of this. I mean, up there is alright, but this ain't alright. Look, from here, there's a thickness there. It's gonna take ages. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't take more than an hour. Let's say give it 2 hours sanding. Should be done on point. Fill it back up. Another half an hour, 1 hour. Sand that down again. Let's say another 2 hours, max 1.5 hours. So that, because this took me like an hour. So an hour, 2 hours sanding this first coat. So that's 3 hours. Let's say 5 hours altogether to actually get all of this like smoothened out and refilled in where it blends in with the wall. And after that, painting should be like, we'll see actually, 5 hours just to get the filling and it blended in by sanding all together. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, so this is quite good. This is like £4 each. Sandpaper is 9, that's like £1. But this, I'm not too sure. I just found this. Squeegee tool, five quid. So everything literally costs like, I haven't even used the whole thing yet, but obviously once I use the second coat, so that's 2 buckets, £8, let's say £1. Everything, the whole wall's gonna get filled in for like 15 quid. If I was to get someone like a carpenter or a handyman, boy, they'll charge me a bomb, you know, like that. But let's see how this goes. And another thing with sanding things like this down, whether or not you're sanding like anything, any sort of thing down, when it's really fine powder like that, it's like you could be sanding down brake calipers which have loads of gunk on it, and it sands down into really fine powder, which is really bad. So it's best, well, not best, you need to wear a mask basically, because what happens is that because this fine powder is so light, when sanding it down and you're breathing in you literally breathe it in. So you need a mask for this, and maybe glasses as well, because glasses will just help it stop going into the eye, and God knows what it can do when it's in your eye. But yeah, wear a mask, and it has to be a proper mask, like the one where it literally, like, you know, the builder mask, not no like COVID mask. It has to be like a proper builder mask, because with the COVID mask, what happens is that when you breathe in, it will still come through the top, like where the gap is between the nose. So you have to wear a proper builder mask, because like it's really bad.